years.
And the
So
air is clean.
birds started flying, and we can see the our sky clearly. It's they have a lot of colors. Earlier we used to see the gray color only, and there is no noise, so we can hear what's going on in the nature as well, and lots of good things going around. And
Yeah,
the air is polluting or maybe filtering itself on their own. That is what the environment is all about. They are rebooting themselves. So as the water pollution, the rivers and the lakes, they're cleaning themselves. I mean, so there must be some auto process which as humans we were not aware about it, and it's automatically going around. So
And it's
system or life
all
is rebooting themselves.
all these without
well,
spending even a single dollar.
Right. I mean,
Nature is getting it done.
So I would like to invite. I would like to welcome Sandeep Jain, and he's uh, one of the top garment manufacturers in India, and he represents a couple of companies, and he's a good friend and a family. So, Sandeep ji, what do you want to say?
good morning and
So what
welcome.
you said
Or
was
good
really,
evening.
yeah, good morning.
Good
Thank you,
evening.
thank you. Yeah, Ankit, what you said is truly right that the weather, what we are seeing right now these days is just fantastic, amazing, and the most purest we have ever seen in the country. And I think all this is to thank to the nature, and what we are getting is without spending a single dollar. Normally every year the government spends plenty of money to avoid the pollution and all, but still it doesn't go. But this time it's all because of coronavirus. People are inside; they are not making a lot of mess around, and the nature is getting it clear itself. So it's the purest air we can breathe now.
This is
And also,
something.
what would you like to talk about Italy, because you have been to that country multiple times, and how you maintain the physical and social distance from the Italians, and how is the market responding?
No, you mean to say why it has spread so quickly over there? You want to understand the reason, or like?
No, no, I would like to know what's happening with the Italian people, and because you have been to Italy multiple times, so and Italy runs the fashion industry
Yeah,
around the world.
yeah.
So, what's the news from Italy, and how it will impact your business?
So Italy is a global supplier of fashion to the entire world, and because they are the creator of the fashion, and many of the international brands comes from Italy. Now the thing is, because of coronavirus, the fashion and the fashion industry in Italy is going to get a hit for another at least 6 months from the time they have started. I think maybe by not before July or August, if they come up quickly. Still, they need July or August to come up with their new products and all. And there's a big damage to the industry because a lot of people are buying there, and they are somehow related to each and every industry which are working in Italy, which are working through Italy. So I think it will take a long time for Italy to come back. It's a big loss for them.
Okay. And so, do you see? I mean, how we can fulfill the gap what Italians won't be able to do for next couple of months or maybe years, because China is also supplying lot of garments now, and then you have lot of people importing from China as well. So,
So we cannot say that we can just completely substitute Italy with the quality of products what they give and the fashion in combination. But yes, Asian countries, especially like India, Vietnam, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, they will be having a good opportunity for next few months to fulfill the gap which has been created by Italy. But also on the other side, I think there is a substantial fall in the demand of all these products because fashion industry is an sort of luxury industry which Italian used to cater, and as of now the crises are there around the world. So I don't think for next 3 to 4 months anybody is going to buy for the luxury products. People are there to cope up with their EMIs, bank loan, home loan, education, school fees, and after that, I think once the market is stabilized, which may take, I said earlier, around 6 months time. So by that time, again, Italy will be back on their toes. Till that meantime, only the products from the Asian countries can substitute the basic needs of the garment products. And I don't think so that luxury product market is going to revive not before end of 2020.
I agree.
I don't think any market's going to revive or bounce back up for quite some time. I've been kind of watching a little bit of the stocks, and that's something Billy, hi, namaste. We got this family here, Sandeep, so you'll have to excuse us, but we've developed a really great connection for the last 26 episodes. Um, but you bring up some really good topics to talk about how we can bounce back up. Italy being the world fashion industry, I've kind of figured out why you got hit so hard, and that's because you connect to China to do a lot of business. There's a big bridge there of manufacturing a lot of your apparel, and probably that brought the disease and virus to your country at a much faster pace without you knowing that it was happening. This might bring up some good topics to talk about what I call centralization of your community, right? Gaining bigger control by bringing back home your industries, right? Start doing more manufacturing back home, which also creates a bigger currency cycle back in your own community as well. And this is something that I have been trying to get a handle on over the years, is why people can't bring back home a lot of their industry. Why do we always have to bridge everything across seas? Of course, I love bridging across seas because I got all of these friends. And those are great connections. But when you do that, you limit your resources back home as well as to what your medical supplies are. In a situation like this, you can't manufacture your own masks sometimes, or not fast enough. So you bring up a good topic. Thank you. Thank you. You bring up a good topic about bouncing back, right? How we're going to survive this, and how long is it going to take to bounce back? Italy probably was the worst hit. Can you share with us a little bit more about the impact there in Italy?
I think another big blow to the Italians are the tourism company, the tourism industry, because as the summer vacations period is coming, if I talk about India also, so there are around, like I could say, 500,000 people travel to Italy or the other part of European to celebrate, to enjoy their summer vacation. Even my tickets were booked for the May and to the Italy and Switzerland, but by chancely it got cancelled because of this virus. So in totality, there is a huge unrecoverable loss to the entire European market of the tourism sector.
Wow.
It will be one of the worst hit tourism sector. Obviously, the fashion industry is there, but still, tourism is the much more bigger sector of Italian economics than any other sector. So I think tourism is going to be hit very bad,
You
and
know,
it will take at least another next year, 2021 only they will be able to come out of it.
you bring up a good point there, that there's more to Italy than just the fashion world, the tourism. I think everyone's getting that impact. Nashville, Tennessee, they really rely on the tourism to feed their people because, music doesn't make as much money as it used to because of Napster and online. So there are other industries that are impacted than the ones that people see you as. I see you as just fashion. I'm sorry, but you're right. Tourism, it's such a lovely place to visit. But you know what? We're going to build. We're going to rebuild. And all of that is going to be regenerated, but maybe at a better and healthier rate, right? We're going to understand ourselves a little bit more, hopefully, because some of the things that we're trying to help people learn while you're sitting at home and doing self-distancing and isolating is relearn yourself, right? Relearn to love who you are, relearn your finances so you can afford to go to Italy when this is over. So many of my people that I know, they go, oh, I can't afford to travel. And right now we're not making money, but right now you're learning how to reserve. And we will rebuild. This humans are not designed to not survive. We will survive. We will rebuild. Tourism, I think people are going to have so much cabin fever, you're not going to be able to handle the travel and the tourism, right? So now's
Right.
the time to plan. What kind of tours would you do next time people come? And also, how would you do it to help keep it cleaner, right? Because now that we've kind of reset the footprint of the earth, Mother Nature's getting clean. Our oceans are probably getting cleaner. The canals are getting cleaner. Um, just the air itself. How can we do all of this and keep it clean? And this is something I was thinking the other day. Maybe once a year, the whole earth, everyone should just shut down for 1 week. Everyone. Because look at the impact we made on the carbon footprint. Even
I
after
have a
the first
question.
week, even after the first week, we made such a huge impact. I was hearing how clean the air was in India, and just pray. Maybe this is something the whole world should do once a year. This is something we're learning, right? Um, and then again, it's not a religion, but maybe we all join together and we pray and we get back to ourselves, love ourselves, understand ourselves. Uh, what is it that we learned from Tommy Harris the other day? Caring and sharing, right? Caring for
Yeah.
ourselves and sharing. Because once you've cared for yourself and you made yourself well, you can share. What are some other things, Sandeep? Share a little bit more about what you're involved with. You were sharing, but some other things that you feel like we can do to help Italy.
Pardon, I would like to listen to your question again. Sorry, it just
Just
breaks up.
are some things because the world has seen Italy take such a huge impact. Can you share with us a little bit of more about what we could do to help as a community, a global community?
See, as of now, what I think there is a crisis all over the world. So anybody who is a citizen of his country where he's living, first is he will think to support that country's economic by being a part of that, being a part of the spending culture of that country. So in the morning, I was reading a document somewhere in a website. To help your nation is the best to start spending on the domestically manufactured goods. Sitting here in India, you cannot help out the whole world, but at least you can help out your country where you're a citizen of. So buying local made manufactured products, let's say garments or maybe the cars or anything accessories or something which are made in the country by the Indian manufacturers. So if I buy those, there's a direct benefit goes to the domestic manufacturers, and it helps a lot to grow up the economy of the country I'm living in. So this is how every citizen of the world should think, and they should start buying the product made in that country first, so that that will give an immediate boost to the country's economy instead of exporting and importing, which will again going to take another 2 3 months because people are not going to travel, people are not going to, they are not sure about where they are landing up after all this. The lockdown is open because they have to go back to the office, they have to understand the office, where are the clients, how they're doing, what is the market reacting to their business, their products, everything. So, but anyway, I think the first step, what I think personally, is that you should buy your country's produced goods. So that will give an immediate boost to the economy of your country. I think.
Sounds good. Um, so, Anka, you got any questions for our new guest?
So I would like to also know from Sandeep Jain that how he's following the quarantine situation and how is everyone in family and how is everyone doing since 3 weeks.
Initially, first 2 days it was very confusing that what you have to do, what not, how to pass out the time, and it was because you are completely coming from a different world to a different world where you are spending your 10 to 12 hours in the office, and all of a sudden, the same you have to spend 24 hours at the home. So you're not used to it, first thing. And then anyway, slow and steady after the 3 days, we just made a schedule, timetable. Everybody has made their own timetables, like how you have to spend your time in the day and doing something productive and involve yourself into some sports. Finish off something which is pending for years and years and you are not able to give time to those things. Maybe it is a hobby or maybe it is a, for example, maybe if I have to take a backup of my phone, which was pending since last 6 months. So this is the time I'm finding out to at least
Yes,
take my
yes.
backup of my laptops, my phones, all my other things, and giving more time to the hobbies which has been pending for so long, like doing some artwork or maybe playing some music instrument, and obviously giving a lot of time to the kids. So now kids are also wondering, they have started wondering that why my father is not going to office. So, but anyways, so this is how we are just trying to
And
pass the
Sandeep,
time.
a lot of our audience would like to know that how the fashion industry or innovation will change after the COVID situation. Are we seeing some new, hygiene clothes coming up? Because we have seen something in Taiwan as well. They are started wearing some hygiene stuff, and that is what the way forward now. Because everyone is suffering, and then we have to look out for new innovations in especially in the garment technology.
As far as India is concerned, I think the basic people use it as a basic utility, like wearing, having food, and the housing. These three are the essentials, and this is how people in the country takes it. So any innovation is not immediately accepted in the country, and plus it only gets accepted once it is being used in the Western countries, and when there's a branding of this that yes, using this thing is give you that benefit, then slow and steady because anything new makes the product very expensive. You know,
Okay.
so it takes time. It takes time, but I think as far as other hygiene products, I think people will definitely start using sanitizer a lot. They will always have a bottle on their office table or maybe at home, and they would like to use all these things. Maybe the mask also they will like to use and the sanitizers, and they will keep themselves away from the crowds, at least especially for the next 5 6 months. So people will be more concerned towards the health, how much they were not aware earlier. Now they will be more because India is a big populated country. So there will be more concern of hygiene in the future. I
And
would
also,
also like to ask somebody, like, what is the, yeah,
yeah,
sorry.
and also, last week we have Reena Taka. She was on our show basically, and we were
Yeah,
discussing
yeah,
about virtual fashion show. And
yeah.
we are looking for people like you to help us and cooperate us to do that show for all our viewers across the world. So
Right.
can we work on something where we can show fashion in different ways or discuss about the technology and after effects through a virtual show? Is it possible?
I'm not
So
sure, but if Reena ji is having some ideas about this, we can work together. That's not a problem.
well, the thing is, we want to do it via cyber, right? So we want to do it virtual reality. Maybe I can get some VR friends involved to help or AR, but virtual reality fashion shows so that we're not in a big area where, with a runway and people are all over each other. Because I've been to several fashion shows in my lifetime, and it can be very crowded, right? Even behind the scenes. But this way, we can distribute fashion to people, and they can, while we're during this quarantine, show the fashion, via home. And she thought it was a great idea. I said, well, we're going to have to pull together some resources. It's not going to happen overnight, but if we can find the right people to join us, this would be a lot of fun. And we could do it as an auction, or people could pick their favorite fashion, so that the fashion industry knows what's going to be, people are going to like coming up. But I think it would be something unique, very unique and different. And
And also, I would like to mention to all our viewers that Sandeep is also working on a global custom tailoring kind of a situation where people can share their shirt sizes or trouser sizes, and we can supply from India. So,
My one
you
question
want to
with
say
Sandeep.
something about that?
My one question with Sandeep.
Yeah,
Just we are
please
talking
tell.
just about the hygiene clothes. So how you just think as exporter and garment manufacturer, how the hygiene clothes just made by actually before that. I think, as I know, as whatever information I have, every clothes when you just going to the garment factory, the just tested by the all type of hygienic test. Am I right?
Right.
Am I right? So in
Right.
the
Right.
present circumstances, how you just new add in that the hygiene quality and just to export to the different market. Anything
I
to
think
add the new one?
I would elaborate, Rakesh ji. What we are trying to say is that when we start procuring for the clothes will go in different stages of the
Yeah,
cycle.
yeah,
The time it
yeah,
reaches to the audience. So
yeah.
can we label something that it has we have used it for 4 times, 5 times, or maybe we
No,
can
no, no.
tag
In
it.
present, no, no, no. My question is, Ankit, in the present COVID, after the COVID situations and circumstances, how will we add the new factors to the more hygiene in the clothes
Okay,
and the export market? Anything to add?
Sandeep ji must be.
It will take some time. Actually, it is going to take
Yeah,
some
yeah,
time because
yeah,
first thing is see the basic hygiene. It is being maintained in all the factories in
yeah.
the
You're
country,
right.
all the good manufacturing plants. I would not say all, but the good
Hmm.
manufacturing plants where all these brands like Tommy Hilfiger and let's say Abercrombie Fresh and all these are manufactured in country. So all these factories are maintaining their basic requirements, which are compliances, which we say is compliances. So that have all the basic hygiene and all the basic standards required for manufacturing garments for those brands. Now, as
Yeah.
far as hygiene you're asking me, so I'm just confused that you're asking me about the hygiene to be maintained during this
No, no.
or
Actually,
after this
my
lockdown.
simple question, no, my simple question is,
Yeah.
after the situation, do you think you exporter or garment manufacturers going to add the new factors for the proper hygiene? My question is different one. Already you have been maintaining hygiene manufacturing the clothes. So in the
Your
new
voice stopped.
new situations, you people, just garment manufacturers, going to new factors. Any new factors you're going to add?
Are you gonna?
Definitely, but
Yes.
Yeah,
Could you
yeah.
hear that? Oh, kid.
just a second. Just say hi
Oh,
and Ashan ko.
hi,
Hi.
Scarlett.
Hi.
Barabar.
Look at the
Come.
The great
children.
ambassador.
Come.
The great ambassador. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it will take some time to
Yeah.
understand like what kind of hygiene will be required by the world after this and by the maybe at the manufacturing facilities, at the customer end, at the store point, at the sale point, at the distributor level, everywhere. So once there is some understanding on this, then definitely there will be some black and white into this, and then all the factories, retail stores, and everybody will try to match it. So I
Yeah.
don't think it's a big deal, but the only thing is the understanding should be very clear.
Yeah.
What has
In
to be done,
newspaper,
how it has to be done.
in newspaper industries, they are going to adopt the hygiene. I have seen the
Right.
when the newspaper is going to print, they are going to the print the just whatever chemicals there, just for if you take the papers, that should be hygiene newspapers. They have the recently
Okay.
different newspaper have been adopted this process, the system. That's why I asked you.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
The way I see it,
We'll just have to sit on this.
Yeah,
because I've worked in food industry, you have
yeah,
halal certification
yeah.
and what's the other one? Kosher. So
Hmm.
along with those standardization comes if we're going to bring this in an act, it's going to be like a top down as in the manufacturers themselves need to come in and start the certification. Um,
Okay.
but you need to have a strong case working for that. You just to just implement the cost of doing the sanitization incorporating clothes is going to be high. Um,
Welcome, Willie, from down under. Good morning, early morning to you. We missed you so much yesterday. Share with us what's going on in your world, please.
good, 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 good. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How are we?
We're doing
um,
great.
um, Yeah, I'm just looking at the stats. We've kind of flatlined, not completely. It's just a start of the flat line. Like the numbers are coming. It's not flat, but it's coming into the flatline phase. It's the beginning, if you want to call it, of a flatline phase. But then, having said that, we don't have the tests to back that those figures up. Okay, we just can't have. These are the numbers of confirmed ones, and